Good afternoon. Hopefully you can hear me. Members of the committee, CyrusHojjaty, H-O-J-J-A-T-Y. We'd like to thank the sponsor and appreciate for bringing this important bill. We appreciate her work. We agree the tax system is unfair. She makes a lot of good points. A lot of wealthy people are not paying the taxes that they should. It's a very regressive system, and we believe that this applies to future home buyers. However, Nevada's attractive climate, which would make me move here, is the low taxes. I didn't pay any capital gains taxes on selling my stocks as I would have if I would have stayed in California. However, we are concerned about the long-term trend. It never ends. Commerce tax, marijuana tax, mining tax, raised sales tax, on and on. I hear reports money gets wasted, and what are the results? And yes, it is regressive. And yes, of course, there are ways we can reform it, but we believe in other alternatives. First, I think we can raise the gaming tax. It is the lowest in this country, and this shows our system is very regressive. We can change our property tax system to a land value tax. Many people in my organization, Strong Towns, believe that. It will encourage denser development, like you see in Reno. And yeah, sure, some people, I believe, should pay the tax on their property. Not everybody, because otherwise you don't have true private property rights. Put the taxes on the wealthy people. Put the taxes only on corporation, businesses. But if you have some people who paid off their homes, live in a remote area, senior citizens, or really take care of their homes, they should get tax rebates or pay no taxes at all. There's many different ways we can change it, replacing the need of an HOA. And we're still concerned this could have an impact on low-income people because those wealthy homes have little casitas and increasing tax could affect their rent. So maybe we can make some changes to that. Now, there are some upsides. I think that if taxes do go up for new homes, it will bring downward pressure on real estate. You can kind of look at Illinois. So hopefully we will work with the sponsor. And yes, I agree that yeah, they need to build more starter homes. I totally agree. I mean, I'm sick of these McMansions. They're just hideous. Unlike these old historic mansions, we could at least do that. Do I have some time left?
I believe we're probably about 30 seconds. I don't think I hit. Please go ahead and wrap up your comments.
Yeah, I forgot, but a lot of good points were made. I'm just concerned about the long-term trend, and I guess, yeah, this bill wasn't as flawed as I thought, but I just don't agree exactly with the approach. We appreciate the sponsor. My bad.
Thank you so much for your testimony. Whoever would like to go next.
We appreciate that the issue of property taxes is brought forward. I'm in opposition because I feel, I could be wrong, that this is a tax increase. And here's the thing. There are some good intentions, but my concern is, where will it end? We instituted the commerce tax about 10 years ago. We put a tax on marijuana. We put a tax on mining. We've increased sales taxes. So where is this going to end? Now, the thing with property taxes, it could backfire because it will bring downward pressure on home prices. So that will kind of offset the tax revenue that's actually collected. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I've seen in other states. I would support this bill if the sales tax, which is a regressive tax, and I agree, would be reduced 2% across the board, or depending on how much the property tax thing goes up. I do support reforming property taxes, but I do believe that if you're a senior citizen, if you take care of your house, if your home is fully paid off, you should get property tax reductions or perhaps no property tax, because then you have true private property. And I also prefer if property taxes are replaced with land value taxes. So there's a lot of reforms that can be done. I appreciate the Assemblywoman bringing it forward, and I look forward to working with her. But other than that, thank you so much, and I think you're doing this meeting very well, unlike the other one. Thank you. Great pleasure.
Good afternoon, Chair Orenshall and committee members. My name is Joshua Skaggs, and I'm the Legislative Affairs Director for the Nevada Republican Party, here today in opposition to AJR 1. Our platform states that we support lower taxes and fees and a reduction in the scope of government at all levels, and we support a simple, fair tax code. AJR 1 fails on both counts. Although it has been stated that AJR 1 is not a tax increase, it's clear that more tax will be collected and Nevada families will pay more property tax as a result of this bill. That is only logical given that the basis for the tax is being increased. Support testimony from various government agencies and recipients of government funding further reinforced this view, as supporters indicated that the bill was needed in order to increase state spending on a wide variety of programs and non-governmental organizations. However, as taxpayers, we do not agree that Nevada has a revenue problem. We have a spending problem. Regardless of anyone's favorite program, enshrining tax increases in the Nevada Constitution is not appropriate. It requires many years to make a constitutional change, and mandates tie the hands of future legislatures to respond to current needs. In terms of fairness, the Nevada Constitution requires a uniform and equal rate of assessment and taxation of property. AJR 1 violates the principle of equal taxation by penalizing Nevadans, such as young families trying to buy a home. Even if they buy an older home, it is taxed as though it were a brand new home, placing home buyers on an unequal footing with those who have been in their homes for many years. We oppose enshrining tax increases in the Constitution, and we oppose unfair taxation, and we urge you to reject AJR 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Skaggs. I actually have a question from Vice Chair Daley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A couple of questions. And I'm sure you've probably seen the plaque up there that it's against the law to intentionally give misleading testimony in front of this committee. So you said that taxes will increase by the passage of this measure. Is that true? That is untrue, I believe. It has to go to a vote of the people. Passage of this measure will not increase any tax. So did you misstate, or did I mishear you?
Misheard me.
No, I think you could give me your written testimony, and you said the passage of this bill will cause a tax increase. You want me to have him read back the record?
I can read it again.
Passage of this
Chair?
bill will cause a tax increase. That's what it said.
Yeah.
And it will not. Do you understand that it has to go to the vote of the people? The passage of this measure will not cause a tax increase. The people have to vote. So let me ask a different question. Never mind. We've established that you gave inaccurate testimony.
No.
So is the Republican Party opposed to letting the voters, the will of the people, stand? Not even going to go there? The Republican Party is afraid to put this in front of the voters?
I will, get back to you on that.
You can't answer a simple question like that?
Let me get back to you, please.
I hear all the time from people that come up, and there's the will of the people and the voters and the will of the people, and you won't let the people have their say.
If it went to a vote, I'm sure it would be struck down by the will of the people.
We'll see, right? But are you afraid to even have the question go to the people?
No.
No, good. Good answer. First thing you said truthful, I think, all day. Thank you.
Wow.
Members, any additional questions? Not seeing any. Thank you for your testimony.
Good afternoon. My name is Lynn Chapman, and I'm the state treasurer for the Independent American Party. Here we go again. I always ask this, how much is enough? It'll never be enough. Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy wrote in an article in March 2025, quote, home ownership is still out of reach for many buyers, and an increasing number of homeowners are severely cost burdened, spending more than half of their income on housing and utilities. The situation is just as challenging, if not more so, for renters. As workers face more and more economic uncertainty, layoff anxiety, and concerns about food costs, higher housing costs can feel like the final straw. Between 2019 and 2024, property taxes nationwide have increased 30%, unquote. Impacts of high property taxes on families. The higher taxes lead to higher monthly housing costs, which leads to less disposable income. Failure to pay property taxes can end up with legal problems, including foreclosure. Family may lose their investment and financial security. Home buyers may not invest in a home because of higher property taxes, which in turn makes it harder for homeowners to sell their property. Higher property taxes make it more likely that homeowners will have less money for other essentials such as savings, education, and healthcare. Let's not forget the seniors. Higher property taxes put a lot of seniors in a bind. They do without essentials so that they can stay in their homes. They spent their lifetime in raising families and thinking they will have some security in their older years. This is not a good fit for families or seniors who want to keep their family homes. Vote no on AJR 1. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Whoever would like to go next, please state your name for the record and proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. It's good to be back with you again. My name is Janine Hansen. I'm the state president of Nevada Families for Freedom. Government is insatiable. They will never have enough money. According to the Institute for Policy Innovation in the United States, the total U.S. tax burden, including federal, state, and local taxes and hidden taxes, is equal to 56% of annual personal consumption spending. That's 56% is more than a person spends on housing, food, healthcare, transportation, education, and recreation. How can people possibly take care of themselves, take care of ourselves and our families when government takes 56% of our income? My brother had a business and talked about what hidden taxes were. For instance, he sold roofs. So if the roof cost $10,000, he would show them how $5,000 of that was in permits and extra fees that he had to pay. Many taxes we pay are in hidden taxes. The problem is there'll never be enough money for government. No matter how much they have, they'll always spend that and want more. People can't afford it. People don't want to spend more on money. We see here every day more bills to spend more money on more socialist programs. We want government spending less money and giving us more money to take care of ourselves. We don't want to depend on government. 1/5 of Nevadans are on Medicaid. We think that's a travesty. We want people to have the money to take care of their own families so they can be free and independent individuals, not dependent on government for their existence. Vote no on AJR 1.
Very much.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Janine Hansen. I'm here representing Nevada Families for Freedom. According to the Institute for Policy Innovation in the United States, the total U.S. tax burden, including federal, state, local taxes, and hidden taxes, is equal to more than 56% of annual personal consumption spending. 56% is more than a person spends on housing, food, healthcare, transportation, education, and recreation. How can people possibly take care of themselves and our families when government takes 56% of our income? We heard from Assemblyman Hafen that it would cost over 12 years, $13.3 billion. This money will come out of the productive community and go into the government community, which doesn't make any money. And therefore, what we want is not more government. We want lower taxes, and more government and more taxes is not the answer to our problems. Citizens need lower taxes so they can take care of themselves and their own problems and not rely on government. Every day I'm here, I hear about more socialist programs that are going to save our state. What we need is less programs, less taxes, and we will be able to take care of ourselves. This is the problem continually with raising it. All the additional money will be taken out of the productive community and put in the non-productive community. Families are chronically underfunded because of taxation. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the committee. My name is Gianna Jacks, Giannajacks. I am a resident of Washoe County. I am here in opposition of AJ1 for the reasons that we are already in a current, quote, severe structural deficit, according to the Washoe County Commission. The Washoe County total budget is about 80% is salaries. Washoe County cannot afford any more tax increase on our citizens. We are already at a high budget. Our county manager makes more than the Clark County manager. We have an extreme budget in Washoe County, and I'm opposed to this bill. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Tangonan, Tangonan. Members of our group were able to listen to parts of the Tuesday's wait.
Ask you to vote for fiscal management, equity, and fairness. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Committee. My name is Lynn Chapman, and I'm the State Treasurer of the Independent American Party. Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy wrote an article in March of 2025, quote, "Home ownership is still out of reach for many buyers, and an increasing number of homeowners are severely cost burdened, spending more than half of their income on housing and utilities. As workers face more economic uncertainty, layoff anxiety, and food costs, higher housing costs can feel like the final straw. Impacts on high property taxes on families. Higher property taxes lead to higher monthly housing costs, which leads to less disposable income. Failure to pay property taxes can end up with legal problems, including foreclosure. A family may lose their investment and their financial security. Home buyers may not invest in a home because of higher property taxes, which in turn makes it harder for homeowners to sell their property. Higher property taxes make it more likely that homeowners will have less money for other essentials as savings, education, and healthcare. Let's not forget the seniors. Higher property taxes put a lot of seniors in a bind. They do without essentials so they can stay in the homes they spent their lifetime in, raising their families and thinking they will have some security in their older years. This bill is not a good fit for families or seniors who want to keep their family homes. Please vote no. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair Backus, committee members. My name is Jim DeGraffenreid, Jimdegraffenreid. I am Nevada's Republican National Committeeman, here today in opposition to AJR 1. Our platform states that we support lower taxes and fees and a reduction in the scope of government at all levels, and it also says that we support a simple and fair tax code. AJR 1 fails on both counts. Although it's been stated that AJR 1 is not a tax increase, it's clear that more tax will be collected and Nevada families will pay more as a result of this bill. That's only logical given that the basis of the tax is being increased. Support testimony from various government agencies, recipients of government funding, further reinforced this view as supporters indicated that the bill was needed in order to increase state spending on a wide variety of programs and non-governmental organizations. However, as taxpayers, we do not agree that Nevada has a revenue problem. We have a spending problem. Regardless of anyone's favored program, enshrining tax increases in the Constitution is not appropriate. It requires many years, as you know, to make a constitutional change, and mandates in the Constitution tie the hands of the legislature to respond to current needs. In terms of fairness, the Nevada Constitution requires a uniform and equal rate of assessment and taxation of property. AJR 1 violates the principle of equal taxation by penalizing Nevadans such as young families trying to buy a home. Even if they buy an older home, it's taxed as though it were a brand new home, placing home buyers on an equal footing with those who have been in their homes for many years. We oppose constitutional tax increases, we oppose unfair taxation, and we urge you to reject AJR 1. Thank you.
Dana Engelkirk. I would like to ditto and say I'm also strongly opposed to AJR 1.
Penny Brock for the record from Reno, Nevada. I oppose this bill on behalf of voters in Washoe County. We're very concerned because we have a population of 480,000. The average for a county of our size, 500,000, I researched this 2 years ago. The average is 500 million. Yet Washoe County budget is 1.2 billion and they have a deficit. There is a problem. It's not that they're not getting enough money, but it's the way they're spending it. They keep hiring more and more employees and giving them raises while people on fixed income and families are struggling. They're putting their groceries on credit cards. It was announced this week on one of the business channels that Nevada is #1 in unemployment. The average earned in Washoe County is $60,000. County employees are paid more than the citizens paying the tax bills. In November of '24, we had a library tax on our ballot, and it was defeated. The people said no. They can't afford more taxes. The good news is on Tuesday, March 25th, President Trump signed an executive order to preserve and protect American elections. There's going to be a bill introduced in Congress to codify this. I believe that if this goes to the vote of the people, it will be defeated because we will have fair, honest, and transparent and secure elections. Our County Commissioner, Alexis Hill, said that they've been a good guardian of the taxpayers' money. Well, I go to the county commission meetings and I sit there meeting after meeting, listening to what they're approving to spend our money on. For example, they passed $500 million to move 7 Magic Mountains from Las Vegas to Reno. What is 7 Magic Mountains? It's 7 rock structures piled one on top of the other. I'm sorry, but in Washoe County, we've got rocks that we could stack on each other, and yet this is how they spend our money. $500 million to move those silly rocks. It's outrageous. I would encourage you to vote no and have the cities and counties be more responsible with the money we're giving them, which is enough. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Not at all. No, please go ahead. State your name for the record. Proceed. Thank you.
Good afternoon, CyrusHojjaty. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for all the work you've done. We don't agree with everything. This was a very productive civil conversation. And I just want to advise people need to read the bills. I admit I haven't done it. There was a lot of these bills that I may disagree. There was a lot of good things in them, and people got to do their homework. And just because we disagree doesn't mean we can't get things done. We certainly can. So we have to make sure that we do things in a very productive manner. And, even though the bills that you may not like don't get passed, long-term, they could be beneficial. Maybe we learn something, maybe we fix a few things, and we just live and learn. But I really like how you do these meetings, and, I hope you do more of that.
Thank you very much for your comments. Thanks for your input. Ms. Hanson, good to see you. Please state your name for the record and proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Janine Hanson, and I know our time for Carson City was up, but I just wanted to thank all of you. I think that we've had very productive discussions here. I appreciate your staff. You've always been fair, and I think we've been able to have positive discussions, even though sometimes we disagree and sometimes we agree. And I really appreciate the time in this committee because it's been very positive, and thank you very much for all you do. I know you work very hard, as all of us do too. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. And members, thank you for your patience. I know we've had to move around our start time.